Hey guys, how you doing? This is JP Saricolia. Welcome again to another episode of Weekend Entertainment. I hope you're all having a good weekend. Now, I want to talk about the DC Superheroes Fight Back trailer, which was released this week. Really liking what the CW is doing with the shows. Of course, you have Supergirl, you have Arrow, you have DC's Legends of Tomorrow, you got The Flash, you got Black Lightning. Really liking the tone, really liking the variety of the shows. Particularly love Arrow. I love Arrow since the start. Since the first season. Love the first season, second season. Then things are kind of going down. They kind of got convoluted a bit. So I stopped watching it a bit. I still watch it. My wife is a fan. She loves all these shows, so she watches them. Regularly every season that comes. She watches every episode. I haven't just not kept with it, but I have watched them. The seasons as they come. Of course, this new season of Arrow, I really like this tone. Now, of course, that everything's kind of feel like it's getting a bit darker, kind of going back to the beginning in some sense. So really liking the tone of Arrow. The Flash, I really like that too. I think that they're tying up some knots from the previous season. So we'll see. I really liking the tone of these shows. I highly recommend them. They have, they're different, each one of them, and that's good. Also, this week we have the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp. If you haven't seen my unboxing video for the steelbook for the movie, I highly recommend it. I have the link here. But yes, I really like this film. I had the opportunity, of course, to watch the movie again this week, and I found it very hilarious. There's a lot of hilarious moments throughout. I found myself laughing a lot. I really like it. I think the first movie was better, but I think the second installment is good. It's very funny. It amps up some of those phony moments of the first one, the hilarity of the first one. The villain, technically there's no villain here, so that's weak on that end. But besides that, it's a good family film, very entertaining, very, you're going to enjoy it, so I highly recommend it. Now, Daredevil Season 3, it's finally here, and I could not be more excited. I'm really loving the show. I've been watching the episodes, already started. I'm going to finish it by the end of this week, and I will have a review for you. I will share my thoughts on this. It is my favorite series in the whole, Marvel Netflix universe. I feel that it is the best of all of them. I really liking the tone. It really represents the character well. They have done a phenomenal job representing the Kingpin, of course, Matt Murdock, and really taking a lot of inspiration from the timeless stories of Daredevil. So really liking the tone. So far so good. It has the right amount of the dark tones, but also emotional, spiritual tones. The philosophical tone. So it has all the elements well balanced. I really like so far what I'm looking at. And sadly, of course, there's a success with Daredevil, but there's not so much success with Iron Fist and Luke Cage. Unfortunately, they were, of course, canceled by Netflix. And it is sad. Of course, a couple of days ago, we got the announcement of Iron Fist at the beginning of the week. But just last night, there was another announcement by Netflix and Marvel, of course, of Luke Cage being canceled. The original report or the message from Marvel and on Netflix read like this: Marvel's Iron Fist will not return for a third season of Netflix. Everyone at Marvel Television and Netflix is proud of the series and grateful for all of the hard work from our incredible cast, crew, and showrunners. We are thankful to the fans who have watched these 2 seasons and for the partnership we share on this series. While this series of Netflix has ended, the immortal Iron Fist will live on. So that was their announcement for Iron Fist. They had one very similar for Luke Cage last night, which is really sad. But really kind of like, I'm not going to say that I was crazy about Luke Cage. A lot of people love Luke Cage. I kind of like the season 1. I haven't even finished watching season 2. I didn't felt comfortable with it. Now, Iron Fist, I did like season 1. Contrary to popular belief, I did enjoy it more than season 2. But they were both great. I think they were going in a good direction. I want him to see a Heroes for Hire show. Unfortunately, it seems like it's not going to happen. Well, maybe not, or possibly yes. We don't know. Maybe they do the show, but of course they're not going to be single series. Some people are pointed out that all of this is kind of directing towards what Disney or Marvel are trying to do on their own streaming service, that they might be picked up by Disney or Marvel. At the same time, Disney was very specific about that they would not allow R-rated content for their streaming service. So we don't know yet how this is going to unfold. I know that now with DC, with their streaming service, so we might see some changes on the way they are doing things. So they can compete. So Marvel can compete with DC, of course, because there's a competition now for the streaming space, and everyone wants to be part of it. So we'll see. It is kind of sad, of course. Starfin, Joan, Jessica, Henwick, and everyone that has been involved in this series, they have made their own statements. They're regretting the decision, but they understand and they thank the fans for all their support. Now, Spider-Man Far From Home wrapped up this week in New York City filming. So they were filming in locale, so we were able to see Tom Holland and Zendaya's pictures everywhere on the web. So it was pretty cool, seeing the filming and all of that part whatever is involved in the process of making a movie. We saw the red and black new suit, which looks okay. I'm not gonna say that I'm a fan of this new suit that they've been doing with Spider-Man, but they're just you cannot get it wrong. Spider-Man, it's Spider-Man. So the suit is a simple concept, but it works well. So it's not bad. He looked kind of weird with some of the suit a bit too tight on the back. There were some not really nice shots of him on the, of course, probably had some padding, and of course he's doing all kind of stuff in the air. So it's interesting to see how they create these movies. But I'm really excited. I'm not gonna say that Homecoming was my favorite Spider-Man movie. I liked it. It was fun, but it was more geared towards a younger audience. And also, I know a lot of older Spider-Man fans liked it because, people that grew up with the original Spider-Man, back in the day, back in the, the 60s and, the 70s, they loved it because they remember the original, Spider-Man was a teenager then. I grew up in the 80s and 90s where the Spider-Man was a bit more mature. He got married, so he was older. So I like the older Spider-Man. And of course, then after Ultimate Spider-Man, everything kind of went back to the original thing. So, it is geared towards that. But, regardless of, I really like it, and I'm looking forward to this movie that is scheduled to be released on July 5th next year. Now, on the big news, or the ones that I consider the most important of this week, you have Mark Hamill. He confirmed that Luke Skywalker is returning to Star Wars Episode 9. Of course, everyone went crazy. Everyone went bananas because everyone wants to see a good ending to his character. Now, he mentioned this in a tweet. He tweeted, "I mentioned keeping my Star Wars opinions to myself and what happens. It triggers an avalanche of questions about the next one. All I can say is yes, I'm in it. Other than that, just consider it. Episode 9 coming." So he's saying, I'm not going to make any comments in regards to, Star Wars. But yes, he confirms that he is going to reprise the role of Luke Skywalker. Now, people are speculating how he's going to do it. Is he's going to be revived? Did he die or not? I'm more like into the camp saying that he's going to be probably, the spirit of the ghost of the Force, or through the Force, like we have seen in other episodes of other characters. So it's going to be more like a Force thing, in my opinion. Of course, they can prove me wrong. Something can go the other way. So people are excited because J.J. Abrams, of course, is returning to direct the movie. Of course, he did the first one, Force Awakens. People, of course, are very divided. A lot of the fans are, hated The Last Jedi. So I think J.J. Abrams will bring a little more joy to this. And they're really working behind closed doors. They're very uptight about a lot of things that are happening here. We know that Billy D. Williams will reprise the role of Lando Calrissian, so that's going to be cool. And they're going to have, of course, the late Carrie Fisher appearing on the episode 2, Lucasfilm will be using some unused footage from The Force Awakens. And J.J. Abrams stated like this, put it this way: finding a truly satisfying conclusion to the Skywalker saga without her eluded us. So it is kind of sad. I don't know how they're going to do it. I don't know how they are going to manage it. In this case, how to, give a conclusion to this character, closure to this character. And I think Carrie Fisher is going to be truly missed. She's truly missed. These people are truly missed. Because we grew up with Star Wars, so not having them here is really sad to let them go. At the same time, I understand that it's the necessity to move on, and to move forward. And even in some interviews with Mark Hamill, he was mentioning some different interviews that he has done recently. He's of course, very active in social media and all that. He's saying that at some point he had to realize that, without Carrie Fisher, without, Harrison Ford, him and his age and all of that, he realized that, it's time for him to move on, to not take this too seriously and to move on, and allow this, franchise to evolve. And I think that's the smartest thing to do. It is very easy, and I'm going now to the end of this video, to get, very passionate about something that we love. We all become passionate about everything. I'm very passionate about what I do, about comic books, about movies. I'm very passionate about those things. It's okay to be passionate. Now, we have to be careful when that passion becomes an obsession. And that obsession triggers in us some of the worst aspects of who we are, because we are, as humans, we have good and we have bad. We do good things and we do bad things. We react good and we react bad. There are good things in us and there are things that we're not so proud of. And I think that feels sometimes when we become so passionate about something, we tend to forget that other people might not think the same way we think or might agree with what we agree. And we say it all the time. I say it all the time in my videos. People like my comments and some people dislike my comments, or they don't like me because I say this or because I say that. And sometimes they go into the personal attack. I know you're passionate. I have no problem with your passion. I'm okay with it. Just we have to learn to be respectful and to see things from a different perspective. Yes, I'm always going to stand by what I like and what I prefer, and I'm always going to give my vote to it. But if it doesn't happen that way, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, and doesn't mean that it's going to change what I know or how I feel about certain things. So we have to know. I'm really excited for Star Wars. Yeah, I know that there was a lot of mishaps and a lot of missed opportunities through The Last Jedi. But I feel that the opportunity is still there for, the studio, for Disney and for Lucasfilms to kind of reshape things and kind of move in a good direction that I think everybody will be more grateful and thankful and happier with. It's hard to find a happy medium because there's so many different generations that love Star Wars. So everyone wants to have a part of it. So hopefully they manage it in a way where everyone can be satisfied. I believe that they can. I believe that J.J. Abrams has the ability to do it. So they can make these films very interesting, for everyone, and we can move to the next chapter instead of being stuck on this. Like it seems that right now everyone is stuck on it. So once again, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate your support. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends, and also follow me on my podcast so you can get, you can listen to my voice at least once a week, or more than once a week. So thank you, friends. God bless you. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.